Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're well. It's another Thursday afternoon, and I've found myself outside today. So I'm in a beautiful city centre location in Leicester called Castle Gardens, and there's this little raised bit above the main gardens, and it's usually pretty quiet up here, but you never quite know what's going to happen when we do these outdoor classes. So if there's any interruptions, bear with me. I'm sure it's going to be fine. And just, yeah, thank you for joining again. I hope you enjoyed Carolina's class last week. I was out in Wales, and I love the stuff that Carolina does. She's a fantastic teacher. So a little bit of variety. Hopefully we can bring her back over the next few months as well. And yeah, get Carolina to teach you guys again. So let's find a comfortable seat first of all, and just sit how you want to sit at this point in the class. You know, I always say it's about getting comfortable. So if you want to sit in a chair, or if you want to sit up against a wall or something like that, then feel free. Cushions, props, anything that kind of like helps you get a little bit of length in the spine. So you feel this nice opening through the chest. So we don't want to be kind of sat like this. This is kind of like, I guess, what we sit a lot of the time, you know, pretty relaxed. We want to be sat more with that beautiful length in the spine, and then just have a little think about your shoulders. So again, we don't want to be here. Oh, this is all a bit kind of tight. Relax the shoulders down, and maybe just have a little wriggle through the shoulders. Just while we start the little intuitive movements, maybe roll the shoulder blades forward, and then you can roll the shoulders back. Really big circles. Yeah, nice, everyone. Beautiful. And then a few more the other way. And then let's do this. Let's inhale the shoulders up and then exhale the shoulders down. Inhale the shoulders up, exhale the shoulders down. So you're inhaling the shoulders up towards the ears, and then you just drop in the shoulder blades down the back. Inhale the shoulders up one more time. Pause the breath here. And exhale. Just let everything relax. Beautiful. Really nice work. Let's just go through a couple of things before we properly start. First of all, just check in. Do you feel any difference there? You know, as soon as we start to move the body, we hold loads of tension around the back of the neck, the shoulders, you know, the shoulder blades themselves, and all the way down the spine. So in a few weeks' time, there's going to be Spinal Health Week, and I'm going to do a specific class which is going to be looking at the spine in more detail. But we'll work through some of those things today. A lot of us suffer quite chronic back pain, and a lot of it is to do with kind of our lifestyles, and that our bodies weren't quite designed for what we put them through these days. So a lot of us are sitting more, and probably especially if you work from home more, you know, with the pandemic, you might be change your routine. So we put a lot of pressure and compression on the lower spine. So the tailbone, or the coccyx, which is this just a little line of 4 or 5 bones just at the bottom of the spine. So we kind of feel tightness there, and there's no quick fix when we feel that kind of pain and discomfort, but we know through that regular steady practice that we can really work through that. And that's another reason why to get on your yoga mat. And sometimes people are like, oh no, not yoga, I don't want to do yoga. But it doesn't have to be this kind of very expansive practice where you've got to be really, really flexible and fit and all of this stuff. Young, I'm none of that stuff, you know. I'm not old. I mean, I'm old. Older, and I'm not hugely flexible, and I'm not hugely strong, but I know that working through this yoga practice has really helped me in all manner of ways. So try and kind of get rid of what you think yoga is. You know, that's about that's just about the kind of the visual side of it that sells magazines and gets followers on Instagram. And for like 95% of us, it's probably not us. For the 5% who are kind of born with that predisposition to have, you know, very flexible open bodies. That's great, you know. So try and bring it back to your body right now with love and respect, and just meeting yourself on the mat where you are. It's probably enough talking from me. I'm going to go back onto my mat just a little bit and adjust the camera just a little bit here as well. And let's move through some of these spinal movements. So if you were sat up against a wall, or if you were sat in a chair, come off it now, and then just lean back into your hands so your fingers are facing forward, and then just drop the knees from side to side. Yeah, nice. Just very slowly bring some movement into the hips. And these next few postures we're going to do, you can do these every single day. Now, it doesn't have to be a full yoga practice that you do, but if you can find 10 to 20 minutes every morning, you might go, Dave, I haven't got time for 10 to 20 minutes. We try and make time. So what I've done in my life is that I've just adjusted the time that I go to bed. And I never thought I'd be one of these people that goes to bed at 9:30 or 9 o'clock, but I am now. So I get up early. I get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I practice my yoga, or I'm teaching my yoga. So we just try and shift things around to fit our yoga practice in. All right, come with the legs crossed again. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the hands on the knees. You've done this one with me before. It's called Sufi grind. You're going to inhale the chest forward, and then we're going to exhale back. Inhale forward and exhale back. And you might look different to me. You know, you might be doing very small movements where you're here, especially if you're tighter in the spine, or you might want to work nice and deeply into this beautiful opening posture. And all you're doing here is just rotating the torso around the hips, inhaling and exhaling. Get into a rhythm and try and match the movement with the breath. So nice deep inhale and then full exhale. Inhale forward, exhale round. Don't worry about which way you're going, because we're going to swap. So these circular movements are getting into the hips, and we're getting into the lower spine. Relax the face. Think about where we started the class with the shoulders and the neck and the jaw. Everything's relaxed. And you can smile. If you smile, then that really relaxes everything. And then come back the other way. Inhale, come back to center. Pause the breath here, hold it. And then exhale fully. Beautiful, really nice. Uncross your shins and then bring the other shin in front, just so you don't get that imbalance in the hips. All right, I could think about something in my eye. I'll be all right, it's not a disaster. We're going to do a spinal flex. So we're going to bring the hands onto the front shin. Going to inhale the chest forward, exhale round the spine. Inhale forward, exhale round. So you're not thinking so much about moving the head. So this isn't going on. The head is nice and still. You see my chin remains nice and still here. I'm inhaling forward and exhaling back. And if you're kind of thinking, what is this movement that's going on? You think about the pelvis, and it rolls forwards, it rolls back, it rolls forwards, it rolls back. So it's a lower spinal flex. Just keep that going. Inhale forward, exhale back. I'll show you from the side. So it's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Nice. I get a beautiful view of St. Mary de Castro Church from here. And like we did on the first pose seated, Sufi grind, just come into it that feels good for you. So you might be moving really slowly. So inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling forward, exhale round, or maybe a little bit quicker like me. So physically, this is very, very good for us. Energetically as well, fantastic. So we're moving the energy up through the spine. Take a deep inhale, bring the chest forward, lengthen. Pause the breath here. And then exhale, let it go. Beautiful. I'm just going to turn around to the front again. And then we're going to do something very similar to that, but we're going to bring the hands onto the knees. So now you feel the flex more in the mid, the upper, and the lower spine. So the hands come onto the knees, palms down. Inhale forward, exhale back. With all these postures, because we're doing them seated, you can, close the eyes. And if you close the eyes, I like to focus right here in between the eyebrows, and where the focus is, it's where the energy is going to go. Beautiful. Inhale forward. Pause the breath, hold it. And exhale, let it go. Nice work, really nice. So now we've moved the energy up. We're going to move the energy side to side with a couple of movements. Then we're going to come back to one more spinal flex. So what we'll do is we'll bring the left palm down and then inhale the right arm over to the left. And then you exhale, left arm over to the right. So you're just swapping. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Get into a rhythm. Inhale left, exhale right. You just move at a pace that feels good for you. Think about all these movements as enlivening the body. Inhale left, exhale right. Arm can be straight, you can bend into the elbow quite deeply. Twenty more seconds. Inhale, whatever arm was lifted down, and then press both fingertips into the mat. Roll the shoulder blades back. Nice deep inhale here. Full exhale through the mouth. 2 more like that. Deepest inhale. Your fullest exhale, sigh it out. And then 1 more time. Deep inhale. And your fullest exhale. If your eyes are closed, just gently come with the eyes open. Beautiful work. Uncross the shins, bring the other shin in front. We do this a lot, just so we don't get that imbalance in the hips. And then we're going to do a spinal twist. So move the energy up with kind of lateral stretch so we get into the side ribs. And now we're going to twist the spine from side to side. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring the hand onto the elbows. The hand onto the elbows. Could do that. There you go. Hand onto the shoulders, and your elbows are about the height of your shoulders themselves. That's what I meant to say. I just missed a bit out. Have a little wriggle around here if you want. So you little fingers at the front, thumbs at the back. You inhale left and you exhale right. So it's just that movement. Inhale left, exhale right, and just at a speed that feels good for you. You know, feel into your body. So every time you get onto the mat, your body might feel different. So we're not pushing it. We don't want to hurt ourselves. You know, we don't want to let the ego take over and like, yeah, I'll really get into this. If everything feels good, get into it. But if you need to work a little bit with a slower pace, then that's great as well. You know, some of these movements might be new to you. All right, so I close the eyes on this one because otherwise I can feel dizzy. So maybe you'll do the same. Inhale left, exhale right. Take a deep inhale, come all the way back to center. Pause the breath, and then just squeeze the belly up and in. Relax the face. And then as you exhale, just bring the hands down. And then what you're going to do, you're going to bring your thumb and the forefinger together. This is Gyan Mudra, or Mudra of wisdom and knowledge. And then just sit here and just check in. And you're just tuning in with the sensations in the body. So we move the energy up. We twist it from side to side. This is all about the spinal series and just moving energy up and down through the spine. Just notice what you're noticing. You know, there's no right and wrong here. You're just checking in. And then from here, if your eyes are closed, just gently come with the eyes open. Beautiful, everyone. All right, so we're going to go back to that spinal flex. But what we're going to do, so remember when we did this one, we inhaled forward and then we exhaled back. We inhaled forward, then we exhaled back. So we'll do the same movement, but we're going to retain the breath. So we're going to hold it. I'll show you what it looks like. So you take a deep inhale, pause the breath, and then you just flex the spine. But my breath is held here, so I'm retaining it. Now, obviously, if you don't like to retain your breath and you don't like to hold it, then just go back to the first version that we did where you're inhaling forward and exhaling back. And then when you've had enough, and please don't strain, come back to center and then fully exhale. And then we'll just go again. But you do it in your own time, or you can match what I do. I don't go for too long. You know, I don't want to strain here. So this is like this yoga pose to make you strong. Believe me, it makes you strong. All right. So take a deep inhale. Pause the breath at the top, and then just flex the spine backwards and forwards. Breath is held. Nice. When you're ready, full exhale. Deep inhale. Pause the breath. Flex. Full exhale. And then one more round. Deep inhale. Pause, and then move the spine backwards and forwards. full exhale. Nice, everyone. Really nice. Bring the hands onto the knees, palms up, thumb and finger come back together, and then just pause here and just check in. Just that idea, notice what you're noticing. There's no right and wrong. Just tune in with the quality of energy. And hopefully, you know, if you do suffer from a tight spine or tension in the spine, especially down in the lumbar spine, you feel a little bit different now. Beautiful. Nice, everyone. All right, come with the eyes open. Bring the feet out again. Have them hip width apart. Lean back into the arms, and then just a little bit of movement into the hips. Nice. The worst thing we can do is when we sat here, we get tight, and then we're not enjoying what we're doing. And we're thinking, oh, this just feels painful. We don't want to ever feel pain in our yoga practice. You know, it's challenging. You know, sometimes it's not comfortable. It doesn't always have to be comfortable, but we don't want to feel pain. Nice. Come back with the shins crossed. If you can remember which one was in front, swap them over. Take an inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind. Take an inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, twist it over to the right. Nice. Inhale, find length. Exhale into your twist. One more like this. Nice deep inhale. And then a full exhale. Inhale, both arms back up. Find some length here. Stretch up and then exhale. And you just bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind. Find your length. So inhale, find length. Exhale into your twist. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhale, twist. One more like that. Nice deep inhale as you lengthen. And then full exhale as you twist. And then inhale, sweep the arms back up, find some length. As you exhale, bring the hands down. So just down in front of the feet. And there's no need to collapse all the way down here. Just rock the hips from side to side. You can get low. You can bring the forearms down. Or you might be up a little bit higher. You're just feeling those sensations into the lumbar spine. This is where all the work has been going on. Beautiful. Nice. Little movements. And then slowly press back into the hands and come all the way back up. We're going to flip over. We're going to go onto all fours. So take your time getting here. All right. So here we are in tabletop. And then feel free just to make some intuitive movements. So maybe stretch one foot back. Maybe stretch the other foot back. You know, feel as you press into the toes that stretch into the calf. Have a look at your hands. Make sure that the fingers are nice and spread. You know, we're always coming back to the hands as like the supporting structure. And then bring the knees. So they're about hip width apart. And then your tops of your feet are just pressing into the floor. Yeah, I'm sure we all look brilliant up and down the country here. Let's take a nice deep inhale. Drop the belly down. Lift the head and the heart. And then exhale round into the spine. So cat and cow. Inhale forward. Exhale round. Inhale forward. Exhale round. Get into a rhythm. And you just move in at a pace that feels good for you. We've done a lot of work so far into the spine, so I'm taking advantage of that and moving and flowing a little bit quicker than I normally would. Two more. Nice deep inhale. Come back to a neutral spine. And then a full exhale. Let it go. Beautiful. Split the knees wide. Bring the big toes together. And then bring the sit bones back onto the heels. Come into child's pose. So you just stretch the arms forward. And then bring the head down onto the floor. If you find the head doesn't come all the way down, place it on the hands or make fists. Or you can rest it on the forearms like this. Loads of options for you. And then just stretch it out. And think about all that space you've created down in the lumbar spine and breathe deeply into there. Beautiful, nice. Keep the hands where they are. If they're not stretched out in front like mine, then bring them out so the arms are long, and then push yourself back to a tabletop position. We'll do a little bit of balancing here, which I don't think we've done for a few weeks. I'm not sure if you did anything with Carolina last week. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this pose called Sunburb. So you set yourself up in tabletop, take an inhale, sweep the right leg back, find some length here. Maybe just rotate out through the hip, through the foot. Yeah, nice. You might want to stay here, or if you want to bring the left arm forward, bring the left arm forward. Nice, stretch it out here. So you feel that kind of like bow action across the middle of the body. Right leg is activated, left arm is activated. Maybe look forward, or if you feel a bit wobbly, just look down to the front edge of your mat. Loads of options here. Stretch it out. Now, if you wanted to, you can bend into the right knee, sweep the left arm behind, grab hold of the foot, and then just kick the foot into the hand. So you give yourself this really nice quad stretch on the right hand side. It's optional. If you've had enough, then feel free just to push yourself back into child's pose. But a lot of us are tight in the quads as well. And this is a beautiful way just to open them out. Nice. Slowly bring everything back down to center. Set yourself up in table, and then some really big movements in the hips. So inhale and exhale, really big circles. Make them fluid. You know, it's your practice. Maybe come back the other way. Nice. Oh, my knees are cracking. No pain though, just cracking. All right, come back to center, and then we'll do all that on the other side. Set yourself up, spread through the fingers. Have a look at your knees, make sure they're hip width apart. That finds your stability. And then if you felt a little bit wobbly on the first one, just gaze here, right down to the front edge of your mat. Left leg back this time. Sometimes you take a visual on it, that can feel good. Make any adjustments that feel necessary. So this might be where you want to stay. You can sweep the right arm forward. Nice. So there's this engagement here, just at the navel center. That can feel like it's stabilizing and supporting you. This is where you may want to stay. Bend into the left knee, sweep the right arm behind, grab hold of the foot, kick the foot into the hand. Whoa. I nearly fell over. You can look forward, you can look down the arm. Beautiful, everyone. Maybe kick the foot a bit higher. Breathe deeply. Breathe into the quad. You get this nice shoulder stretch. There's balance going on. So much good work, everyone. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, bring everything down to the mat. Nice. Split the knees wide again. Child's pose. Sit bones come back. Stretch it out. Breathe deeply. Nice. From here, in your child's pose, just walk the hands over to the right. So you find the right hand comes right off your mat, and then the left hand's in the top corner of your right hand side of your mat. And then make sure the sit bones are nice and balanced here. So there's this tendency for the left sit bone or left bum cheek just to lift up from the heel or away from the heel. Push it back down. It doesn't have to be there, but try and keep the hips nice and neutral. And then walk the hands back to center, and then come over to the other side. And this time pushing the right sit bone down. Make sure the head is supported. And you're breathing long, and you're breathing deep, and you're breathing even. Nice. Come all the way back to center. And then just lay your arms out in front of you. You know, so they're about shoulder width apart. See how mine are? And then you're just going to lie down onto your belly. So step one foot back, step the other foot back, and then lie down here. So this is a pose that we call Sphinx. So you can see my elbows are right underneath my shoulders. If this feels too much for you, then just walk the arms forward so you can be here. And then from here, Feet are about hip width apart. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. And then imagine just clawing the mat back. So you claw the mat back with your fingers, and that just helps you engage into the forearms and then lift the chest. So you're just looking for a compression in the lumbar spine. Sphinx pose. And then if you wanted to, you can begin just to turn the head. So you might look over the right shoulder. Hi, everyone. Come back to center, and then look over the left shoulder. Just moving gently here. This is optional. We did a little bit of work at the start into the neck. So this sometimes can feel nice. Nice. But it's mainly about stretching into the lumbar spine. Nice. Beautiful. If you're moving the neck, come back to center and then stack the hands on top of each other. Wing the elbows out nice and wide and then just lie down. Look to the left or the right, or just look forward and just enjoy the sensation of feeling your body just melt down into the floor. Nice. And then really gently stack your hands underneath the shoulders, activate into the toes, press yourself back to all fours. Beautiful. And then we're going to come to a seated position. I will probably move a little bit closer to the camera, and we're going to just work through a breath exercise here. All right. Okay, everyone. Beautiful work so far. Let me just set this up. So we don't usually get a lot of time just to work on pranayama or breath. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to do that. I want to go through a breath exercise called Breath of Fire, because I think it's a game changer. It certainly is. It's one that I use a lot, and it's one that I can come back to time and time again. But it just takes a little bit of time to learn it. But what it will do is it will really activate you. But at the same time, once you've done the breath, it will calm you down. So whenever you need to raise the energy up a little bit, then you can come to this breath. Whenever you feel anxious or agitated, you can come to this breath. It's a really beautiful breath. And like 2-3 minutes, it can really just change the way that you're feeling. It's an amazing breath, and the idea is you're raising the energy up right into the brain. So what we do is we breathe in and out of the nose, or what I should say as well, it clears out the mucous membrane of the lungs. You use a lot of oxygen as well, so it's so good for us physically. You know, physically it's so amazing, and it's detoxifying. So this is one that we should all be doing, this breath. So Breath of Fire. This is or Kapalabhati breath, or skull shining breath. Skull shining. Oh yeah, that sounds good. All right, so I'll show you kind of what it looks like, and then we'll kind of go through a few rounds of it together. Now, a couple of things I should say is, if you're pregnant or on your menstrual cycle, just do a long deep breath here, and then you can come to it any time that's appropriate for you. For some people it just doesn't work, but I've only heard that from a very small amount. But if you do it and it feels kind of like wrong, please don't do it. It's the nice thing about yoga is there's plenty of other breaths that you can use. All right, so sitting nice and tall, think about lengthening the spine, relax the shoulders, and then I'll show you it breathing in and out of the mouth, which it's not, it's in and out through the nose, but this gives you a good idea. So imagine that you're a dog and you're panting. So the breath looks something like this. Looks a bit odd. Sounds a bit odd. You can stick your tongue out and do it if you want. It's even better. Then you're like a proper dog, like this. All right, so like when the dog's very hot. Bring your hand onto your belly. So just probably at the navel center, and then just do that panting breath again. All right, so that's the kind of the rhythm of the breath, but instead of doing it through the mouth, we do it through the nose. You get it, all right? So the best way that I describe it, or the best way I've heard it described, is it's a forceful exhale and a passive inhale. So I'll show you what it looks like. All right, I'll do like 3 or 4 rounds. I'm grinning because it's such a good breath. All right, so in and out through the nose. So it looks like this. All right, you can do it slower. Let's do 4 slower. All right, so what sometimes people get confused about is like, well, there's a passive inhale. What do I do on the inhale? Well, it's just the laws of physics. Once you take that forceful exhale, you've got to take an inhale, but it comes in naturally. So I think of it as like a pendulum swinging. So don't think about the inhale. Passive, forceful exhale, passive inhale, forceful exhale, passive inhale. But you don't even think about the inhale. It just comes naturally. Okay, so you can do that. Let's do that again, but let's bring the hand onto the belly again, and then just start, do a few rounds. All right, nice. And you can see the belly pumps in, the belly pumps out, the belly pumps in, the belly pumps out. So you get that rhythm, you get that movement. Why don't we do 2 rounds together? We won't go for too long. We'll go 30 seconds each round, and we'll use different mudras or hand positions, and then we'll go for a little bit longer where we use a more challenging hand position. All right, so left hand on the heart, right hand on the left hand. All right, so this kind of like this feeling of, number one, it helps us open the chest, but also it gives us that little hug, which is beautiful. I really like this. And then I focus here. So my eyes are closed and I focus in between the third eye. And we're going to go for 2 rounds of 30 seconds. So deep inhale to begin. And then start your breath of fire in and out through the nose. Deep inhale. Pause the breath. So just hold the breath. Squeeze the belly up and in. And then a full exhale. Beautiful. Nice. And then just sit here. Arms are outstretched. And then just check in with your experience. See if you're feeling anything different. Nice work. Just change the angle here. And then let's do one more round. So this time, let's do this. Bring the hands to heart center. So this is called Anjali Mudra. I nearly forgot that. So this is the mudra where we've got the thumbs just pressing lightly into the sternum. And then we'll do the same rhythm, 30 seconds. So really forceful exhale, very passive inhale. And then it's like a pendulum swinging and the belly pumps in and out. All right, focus at the third eye if that feels good. Deep inhale, and then start your breath of fire. Deep inhale. Pause the breath, hold it. And then a full exhale, relax the hands down. Palms up or palms down. And then just check in with your experience again. Notice what you're noticing. Beautiful, nice. So we're going to go one more round. I'm going to move back a little bit here. And then I'm going to go 90 seconds this time. So we're going to use an arm position, which will be challenging. Your mind will probably say to you, bring the arms down, but you're not gonna, all right? We're gonna go through this. So this is called Prana Shakti. So we bring the arms up and then you bend the fingers in just to the pads and then the thumbs are out and then your arms are about 60 degrees. Again, focus in the same place and we go for 90 seconds here. So take a deep inhale to begin. And then start your breath of fire. Keep it going. 30 seconds to go. Deep inhale. Pause the breath and then stretch the arms above the head. Let the thumbs touch and then stretch out through the fingers. Find some length in the spine. Hold the breath here. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then exhale, bring the hands down. Nice and slowly. Beautiful. Nice. And then thumb and forefinger come together. And then just sit here in your awareness. Notice what you're noticing. It's probably the first time you've done breath of fire. So just be curious of the sensations, and hopefully you feel that little energy in the body. But also we're calming the parasympathetic nervous system. This is our rest and our digest, instead of being in the sympathetic where it's kind of like we're always on the go. Now we just get to sit in our awareness, and that's our yoga practice in essence. It's paying attention to physical sensations, paying attention to the body, and that idea of you meeting you. I love that. And we think about the breath as just always there. We can always access it. We can do numerous things with the breath just to change the way we feel. If you want to change the mind, you change the energy in the body, and that's exactly what we've done here this afternoon. So just check in and notice the effects of your practice. And then from here, if your eyes are closed, keep the eyes closed. Just rub the hands together at heart center. Create a load of heat in between the palms. And then just place the palms face in, just over the closed eyes. And then blink the eyes open, rotate the eyeballs one way or two ways, and then come back the other way. And then slowly just bring your hands back to heart center. Just press the thumbs lightly into the sternum. And with a wholehearted bow, just wish yourself well. Wish everybody else well. Thank you for practicing with me this afternoon. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming this afternoon. It's always really lovely to practice with you. And we don't usually get a chance to kind of do, elongated periods of breath and looking at breath in more detail. So hopefully that was useful for you. We would certainly come back to those breaths from time to time. And if you have any questions, just stick it on the Facebook page, and I'm more than happy to answer it. There's loads of information that I can give you on breath of fire and kind of like the physiology behind it and how it kind of really helps you stay cardiovascularly fit, but also at the same time changing what's going on here. So yeah, please ask any questions. More than happy to answer those. I'm going to shuffle forward. I'm going to change the camera angle. What a beautiful day it is here in the East Midlands. And hopefully wherever you are in the UK, you're all doing well. I'll see you next week, and I hope you have a lovely week. Namaste, everyone. Take care, beautiful people. Take care. Cheers. Bye.